All right, we're back here for the part 2 of our Jackson County Fair 2026 experience, and we're going to get started right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, Brownstown Oliver Man. We did a video on tractors. Now we're going to do it on everything else. I do have footage from inside of the toy trailer when nobody was here, so I'll throw that in now. All right, we're going to try to check out this toy trailer again. This is super hard to film in here because it just doesn't, the lighting through that glass doesn't do it justice. But he has got just about every toy represented in this trailer. It's kind of a neat idea because he's got it all self-contained and he can just pull it places and then people can enjoy looking at the toys. But he's got so many of different things. Like I said, the reflection is a killer. I don't really know what to do about that other than just move around and hope you can catch a glimpse of some of it. But it's pretty cool. I'm glad that he does this and brings this stuff here. I'll try to move so you can see. I guess pause if you want to see something longer. But again, I don't know how to I don't know how to move so you can see. I think I'm making it worse the way I'm going. Here's some like pulling tractor toys. Some skid loaders and dozers. Spirit of Oliver. 1150 Massey Ferguson. Some construction toys down there. There's some bigger combines and four-wheel drives, a round barn model. And then up here he's got a model of a barn and some, I like that little dump rake. I don't know if you can see that. I'll just cheat, put you over the edge. Maybe you can see a little bit of it. And I didn't realize, I don't know, I don't remember this church. Maybe he had this church in here before, but I don't remember it. So if it was, I guess I wasn't paying attention last time, but it's, I'll put you in there. It's kind of cool. There's more toys over here. He's got them pretty well organized by the brand that they are. That is pretty snazzy. I think that's neat. And we got some Olivers and stuff, Minneapolis Molines. Case. I realize some of you, if you've watched my videos, have seen this all before, but it's cool to look at every time. Alice Chalmers. Agco tractor in there. I never looked. I don't think he has a 9650. Oh, there he does. There's a 9650 front wheel assist. A couple of them. Cockshuts and some cockshuts and co-ops. Massey's. Some original toys, modern toys. It's just cool. And I'm glad that he brings it places, so pretty neat. All right, we're gonna make our way around. We can start here with garden tractor trailer. This stuff belongs to the same guy who brought that WD with the planter up there. And he's got some Simplicities and Alice Chalmers on the trailer. He makes the rounds with these, so you may have seen them at a local show near you. But he's got a pretty good variety of things that they made over the years. Alice Chalmers used Simplicity to build their garden tractors, and then for a while they actually owned Simplicity. I think in the era when they were building like that 410 and then they ended up selling it and what have you. But started with the B1 and then went on from there, different models over the years. So pretty cool display he's got. Here we have a David Bradley, and it must have been repowered because the hood won't fit on with the square tank, but you see a lot of them that way. I need to get mine out. I've got a bunch of these, and I need to bring them again one year to the fair. But David Bradley. Let's go in and look at the building. It's got a line shaft running, and he's also got a table with some models that are animated. So let's check that out. Check out all this. 3/4 scale Olds car. That's kind of neat. Here we have the line shaft. A few different pieces than last year on it. Washing machine. It's got a big aluminum agitator in there on the lid. Here's the table with models that my friend Rob made this winter. It's pretty neat. He's got a G-scale train around the outside, and then he took a roller chain and made a groove in the table, and the roller chain follows the path, and then he's got little nuts welded here and there on the chain so he can have different things hooked to it, and then they'll follow around the track. So that's pretty cool. And then he's got the little figures doing things, pumping water, swinging in the swing. Sawing wood, cutting, splitting wood. Pretty neat. And we have some antique furniture, antique house display. We'll go around the circles now and take a look at some stuff. I don't know where to really start, so we can capture all of the same person's stuff in order. I'll start up here, I guess, with mine. Basically the same as usual. I did put the braiding machine on there. That's as far as I got, though. Need to find more time to do stuff. Kunith, what do you know?
Don't know anything.
Don't know anything? Don't have any...
Go get a jug of water from the motor.
Okay, there you go. We'll be around to see you later. All right. So there we go. Over here we have some Crosleys, which I believe are British made. I may be wrong on that. Somebody can answer that, but side shafts. Tank cooled there. Then over here we have a hopper cooled variety. You like those foreign built motors, huh?
Yeah.
What models is that? Another Ruston Hornsby?
Big boat tractor.
Got a little sandwich back here. Hey. Little sandwich. Now the sun's gonna probably affect us here, but he's got his little scale model garden tractor he built. I think that's a wheel horse underneath, but he made that. That's pretty good. I mean, that's a neat little feller. We've got a wagon, and there's a little Maytag on there. Then we have some garden tractors. Simplicities. Little Massey. This is actually built by the guy that I bought that F12 Farmall on steel. He put that together. The same guy who restored the F12. I don't think he ever got it finished though to where it actually drives, but he made a front wheel assist Massey Ferguson. Here we have some Cub Cadets restored. Like those are Cub Cadet originals, maybe.
Attention on the ground. Tonight's truck and tractor pull has now been canceled. Our sled is stuck in traffic on 65 and 65 is shut down. It will not be able to make it here until at least 10:30 tonight. So we are canceling our truck and tractor pull.
Well, that's a bummer.
You have already bought a ticket to get in. You have your bracelet. You may go to the ticket window at the grandstand for a refund. You must have your bracelet in order to get the refund. Again, the truck and tractor pool for tonight has been canceled. Refunds are available at the grandstand.
Well, shoot, that's a unfortunate thing. If you can hear the speaker on there, they canceled the truck and tractor pull because the sled is stuck on the interstate, and I guess the interstate got shut down for an accident or something. They announced a while ago that instead of 7 o'clock it was going to start at 7:30. Then at 7:30 they announced it was going to start at 8:30, and now they've announced that it's going to be canceled. It's 8 o'clock now, so yeah, that's a shame. Here we have some of Cooney's display here. Keep it going there. It's only gas money. It's all it takes. Just keep. Snowblower, huh? I think you'd get pretty tired of blowing snow with it, wouldn't you? After a while.
When you cut the yard with it.
There you go. That's a fancy outfit right there. I don't know. Here we got this little another Cub Cadet original there. They were actually belt drive down to the shaft, and the later models were direct drive shaft, so there you have that. Here we have a little Mustang riding mower, and that's kind of neat. He found that in a I think at like a swap meet or flea market place or something just about a week ago, so that's kind of neat. Some Massey Harris there. Some different grinders and things. I still think that's cool. He came up with that last year. That is a seed grader to separate your seed by flats. Pretty neat. Some tools. Maytag and a pump jack. Pretty neat. We'll go around over here and look at the other ring of stuff. This is a trailer load of different stuff that hasn't been here before. He came to the fair, and then I don't know if it's been 2 years or just 1 year. He ended up selling his trailer to somebody who saw it and wanted to buy it. And then he sat out a year or so and then decided he wanted to be in it again. So he bought some more engines and put them on this trailer. So we got a Stover and then a Jagger, Worthington, and the Case IH grinder. I think that engine would have a hard time grinding with that, I think, if you filled her full. Corn sheller, I got one of those. There was a lot of these around, this IH model like that. A cider press back there, and corn sheller. Hey, got another corn sheller box there. Hey, pretty good. All right, stopped and talked some more. We got covered up here a thermoil and another one of those braiding machines like what's on my trailer. So that's kind of neat. He was here last night running. I should have filmed, but I didn't. We got a railroad cart. That's pretty neat. We'll come up here and check out some stuff. Yep. Yeah. Here we have a horse-and-a-half sandwich. All original. And another all original International Titan Junior. That's pretty cute. 1 horsepower. Pretty neat. Horse-and-a-half Gimmer. Inverted engine. These are kind of few and far between, really, and usually command a pretty good price at an auction. Pretty neat. Here we have a peanut roaster, and he brought me some a while ago. They're pretty good. But anyway, he traded for that here about a year ago or so. That's pretty neat. It's being powered by a Raleigh, horse-and-a-half Raleigh. We have a big Waterloo boy. We have this pink Hercules. He painted up for his daughter years ago. Then we have the big IHC Famous. I believe that's it, yeah. Horizontal Famous. Those are pretty sweet engines, really. Fuel pump. Overflow carburetor. Little handle for the throttle. That's pretty neat. We can go, let's go over here and we'll look at some model trains in this building. Model Railroad Club has set up a display. They've done that for several years now, and it's a pretty good attraction. So we'll go take a look at that.
Hey, Ross.
Hey. pretty neat. Check out this covered bridge model. Pretty neat. All right, we can go in here and look at the antique building. There are some pretty neat pictures in here this year actually, and I took pictures of them, so I'll put them in on the screen here in a little bit. But they are pictures from here at this fair back in about 61 or so, 62. And it's all of the different implement displays, and I thought that was pretty neat. You can see the 1800A hooked to a pipe plow, and then Massey's. We'll get to that board here after a while, but they always have pictures from around the county, different townships, and I guess this year's theme is 250th anniversary of America, so you can probably use about whatever to fit that theme, you know. But F14 and an MT there. And I need to do some comparing, but my great-grandpa had he had 2 steam engines and a sawmill and a threshing rig. And I'm just not so sure that that might not be his rig. I'll have to look up and do some comparison. He had a case and a baker, and I don't know if that's a baker. I can't tell from it's got the name right through there. Maybe not, but there's one down here that I think might very well be his. A different shot that I hadn't seen before. All kinds of interesting old things. You don't want to we'll take a look at that. Funnel cakes here at the fair, right there. Can't have a fair without funnel cakes. We got some pictures. This is the township that I live in, and that's consequently where those pictures are, so I'll try to put them in full screen here for you to see, but pretty cool. Back when all that stuff was brand new. You can see the co-op was still selling cockshut stuff. And it was just like a year later when they would have, Cordis Hardware would have lost the Oliver contract, and then they gave it to the co-op instead. So we know this because 1800A would be about 61, 62 era. There's a brand new pipe plow behind it. Pretty cool. Oh, sorry. All kinds of stuff in here. There's presidents, portraits, fire department memorials. We got the old mail wagon. Got an Edsel up here. People didn't like them when they were new, but I think it's kind of neat. I would own one. Little model of the old feed exchange. I don't know, all kinds of stuff in here. Mary and Kay Spices, that is locally here in town. I'm sure that that's probably, you can get them in your store where you are, but that place has got a lot of neat history. And I actually work with the granddaughter of the person who founded it, so she said they have a little museum over there. Sometime we need to go take a look at that, because they've got some neat stuff. Because the guy who started it had all kinds of promotional ideas to help get people to sell the spices, and you could win prizes like a gavel or salt and pepper shakers and things. He gave away coffee pots to churches, big industrial sized coffee pots. Pretty neat stuff, really. So, and that still is in business in the same place. I think he started in like 1949. Morgan Packing Company, that used to be a big thing around here. It's in the next town down south, and they would buy sweet corn, and you would raise sweet corn and then sell it to them, and that was a big thing back in its day. All right, every year people say, show us more of the fairgrounds. So I guess I can do that in this video, because we only had about a half an hour's worth of edited footage, so this would be the time to do it. The nice part about this fairgrounds is that it's kind of laid out in a circle. There's a circle drive through here, and everything is around that. And so, yeah, it makes it nice where you can go everywhere. And unlike some places, are laid out in a circle, but the grandstand's in the middle, well, that's not as handy necessarily because of the noise and whatever. So anyway, we'll look around. Over there used to be the 4-H building. Like when I was a kid, the antique display was under a tent. And then over the years, they built a new 4-H building, which is over this way. That became an antique building. And so we've got buildings all around the circle. The middle is basically food booths, church stand food booths. There's 3 churches. And over here we've got a Farm Bureau building, 4-H building, horticulture building, and family arts. We can take a lap through some of that stuff. We already kind of looked in the Farm Bureau building. That's where the Railroad Club had their stuff, and then that model of the bridge. But we'll try to look in here without being right up in people's faces. That's the other problem of filming this, is it's hard to do it without interrupting people. So we have our corn and soybean 4-H. And we have all of our different projects. And they usually do like posters in the middle, and then all your other stuff along the wall. You've got some electric and genealogy and all the sewing stuff that I don't know anything about that. Woodworking was up there. Mini 4-H back here. And then models and displays and stuff like that. We'll go through the back entrance here, but the next building around the circle then is the horticulture building, which anybody can bring things to, flowers and vegetables and that sort of thing. Mama Bear's Homestead and More, he brought some honey here. I think it's this, yeah. He got second place in honey.
Gnats are getting bad.
And then we have corn entered by, you know, just people who aren't in 4-H. Then out here they always have a display garden that somebody builds, and then I think they kind of give away some of the stuff that's in it. I don't know what you do to win, but that's how that goes. Then this building is family arts, so antiques and stuff that people make. Yeah. A bunch of quilts and things. That's definitely a lost art. Pretty cool. Like I said, church food booths. My church has a food booth, and then another 2 more Lutheran churches have food booths there. And then if you come along the circle this way, there's different businesses in here. This used to be where Co-op had their implement display, like when I was a kid. So this would have been where the Olivers were from about 63 on. You know, I've got some articles from the 70s that show the stuff out here. And then eventually that building became the pork producers and cattlemen's building, and they sell food in it now, but that was Co-op's display building. Let's go over here. We have another YouTuber. We were just taking a look at your honey.
Yeah, second best in the county.
Second best. That's pretty good.
Absolutely.
How many, do you know off the top of your head how many people have bees in the county? I mean, do you ever have like bee get-togethers so that you know?
Yeah, there's the Jackson County Beekeeper Club. It's kind of pretty big. but we got a lot of people from Jennings County that came over. I would say there's 25 people in the club.
Oh, that's pretty good. And they probably have bees all over, not just at their house.
Yeah.
So
we've got 3 yards now. But like, can I mention names on this?
I don't, in case they don't want it, but whatever.
Okay.
I mean,
KY, he has all his bees on trailers this year.
really?
Yeah.
So you can move them around?
Yeah, he moves them around.
That's interesting. I never thought about that before.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat little setup.
Because they will always kind of find their home, won't they?
Yeah.
As long as you don't go too far away at
3
once.
feet or 3 miles.
They can go up to 3 miles?
You have to move them 3 miles.
Re-
Confusing.
Really?
Yep.
That's bigger territory than I figured they'd go.
But I know somebody was doing some cover crop crimson clover.
Uh-huh.
And he put them on that crimson clover.
Yeah, they love that because that's got
yeah.
those little flowers on it.
Beautiful. Made really light honey.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you for your fair video.
Oh, the Alice Chalmers part 1 or whatever, our tractor part 1.
You had to show the dirtiest part of my tractor.
Oh, I don't even know. I just went down the row, so.
But yeah, I unhooked the sprayer, sprayed beans Thursday.
From Tough Enough, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unhooked it Thursday night and I came out here Saturday morning.
There we go.
So it didn't get a time up yet.
Oh, that's all right. It looks good out there, so. Yeah. We're just taking the tour because people always said they want to see more of what is here, so. But that's kind of hard to do when there's thousands of people roaming around, so.
Pork producers is really good.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Pretty good cuts of meat.
Christian church.
I haven't made it around that part of the circle yet, so I started over here pointing out the different stuff, so.
That's my favorite.
Well, I figured it would be, but yeah. All right. We'll go leave you eat and look at the rest of the stuff. Yep. So over here, this is all implement dealers used to. Of course, there's not that many anymore, so it's become other stuff. But that was Agco, like when I was a kid, and then John Deere was on the backside. There's some of the Queens. And the fair office is in this building. This is one of the oldest buildings, and it's just different things. Different groups can have a booth in it, and that's what it's become. I think the hospital has a booth down here, and politicians. So then they sell along the sides of in the grass area, they sell space for different things. So here we have show supply, and then over along the buildings we have trailers from a trailer sales place. It's kind of a circle with another part of a circle added on if you want to go around the animal barns. So anyway, we'll try that and see what happens. They've changed a little too over the years as they've built more, so different things. So like now dairy has a barn there, and then you have dairy beef over here, and they moved poultry in with it. This used to be like cattle barn, but they built a new one back behind here, so that's how it is. We can go look at some stuff maybe and see what we find. Some turkeys. Some ducks. Wow, what are you doing? Look at those. These are my niece's chickens, I guess. All different kinds of stuff. Birds. Champion brown eggs. There you go.
Hi, Ross.
Hi. Hi. There's turkeys and geese and ducks. We'll look at some pigs. This is like overflow pig area. There's a lot of pigs at this fair. I think this is where they put them when they need more room. The main building is next door. It's pretty crowded here because they've got shows going all the time. I'll try to get you some footage of the big pig and the sow and litter. Little piggies. More little piggies. Sleeping. That's what pigs do. They sleep and they taste delicious. Feeding the pig.
Feeding the pig.
Brushing the pig.
Gotta brush your pig.
There you go. Good. Happy pigging.
Happy pig.
Over here we have sheep. We'll look at some sheep. Lots of different kinds of sheep. Yep. Some of them like to wear outfits. Sure. And then we go around here. Here's the show arena. It's the original show arena that's been here for a long time. And then they built this one, which is a combination goat barn and show arena. So we can look at that here in a minute.
Hey, Ross.
Hey. And then they've got cattle back here. And I don't know what's what, like who has what where, or how you get in one place over the other. This used to be the new thing, and then they built this other barn. So now I don't know what they use this for. If this is just overflow. Here we have cows, beef cattle. Sure. They're all doing their thing. I guess they wash them out here, so sure. Back here we have horse barn. These I think are my niece's horses. And she asked for pictures of horses. I sent them some pictures of like great grandpa's horses. So Reserve Champion. There you go. More horses. Sure. Yep. That's a horse. Here's the new show arena they use for goats and I think rabbits and maybe poultry. It just got to be a scheduling conflict, trying to have every show for everything in that other show arena. So I guess we should go look at some goats. You probably want to see goats. Goats. Hey. all different colors, all different kinds. I know nothing about goats except that they eat almost anything, and they're sometimes impossible to contain, as I'm sure this person has discovered. We'll go back here and look at some rabbits. Want to see some rabbits. Lots of rabbits. We'll go through the back of this building, which will take us out back on the main circle again, and this is the FFA building, so. Hey, not much. Watching some ducks. Lots of little rabbits. So back out here, the main circle, John Deere display, and then I think the Case IH and Kubota people have a display again this year, first time for a while. So that would be over there. They brought some Kubotas, and then this is just a couple more buildings of vendors and things. Some more miscellaneous vendors. There's some more down that way. It's getting very hard to film with all the people. There's the boss right there, huh? That's right. Wonderful. You holding this fort down? Okay. That's good. Golf carts for sale, fancy ones that you can drive around your neighborhood. And then we come back around to the main circle. There's the Christian church food booth that Dirk was talking about. It used to be a Catholic food booth, but they gave it up and it became that. And then over there, there's just a pavilion. They do some entertainment. And then this is the midway. This is where that show in May that we have out here, this is where that would be. The tractors were out here. So during the fair, it's the midway. We have state police post. And then they poured this pad for the fire departments. They take turns being on call here at the fair. And they used to park over on the other side, but they poured this place for them. And that works a lot better because it's right there close to the entrance. The sheriff's booth is there, the state police is there, so that makes a lot of sense. We got the radio station. And then I don't know what, they've been parking differently. I don't know what goes on here, if these people are sponsors or what, but they park different things here every day, so anyway. Then like I said, sheriff's booth. Conservation Club, they sell fish sandwiches. And then down here you have live animals, fish, that sort of thing. They got these tanks with fish of different varieties. And and we'll go make a quick walk through this, and we'll end up back where we started. But this is just a building full of commercial vendors, like Cummins is in here because that's close by here. Just different things like that. The Rural Electric has a building or a booth in here. Anyway, the GoPro got too hot, but we're walking out of the back of that building and we're back where we started. Back here they do knife throwing, axe throwing, and then that's that little building with the line shaft and stuff in it. So that's a basic layout of the whole thing, and like I've said before, it's like a mini state fair. There's something for everybody. So if you can only go to one fair in the summer, this would be a pretty good choice because there is a little bit of something for everybody. So I don't know what else to say, so I guess we'll leave it there, unless this character wants to say something. He's a radio celebrity, or he was at one time.
Yeah, was at one time.
So I don't know. He's out here getting ready for some fun.
Yeah.
Right?
I somehow got some water in the gas tank, so I don't know how in the world, so I ended up pumping that out, and I'm hoping that will run tonight.
Oh, there you go.
Because it hasn't run all week.
Oh, well, mine haven't either, but that's for other reasons. Motivation more than anything, I guess.
Worthington, man, that thing run all last night, and the Jagger run all last
Yeah,
night.
they were running when I went by and filmed, so.
Yeah, they've done really well.
Well, all right. We're wrapping this video up, the second part of my fair filming, so I guess you're the grand finale, so.
Yeah, that's
So.
great.
You have anything to say before we go?
Yep. You do a good job on that, Rob. That's all I'm going to say. And I think everybody will agree.
All right. Well, as always, friends, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.